إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. It was said, me and my health were looking for money. Me and my health looking for money. And then me and my money are looking for help. Can you think about this? Who are we talking about? Us. Young age, strong, work together. Use your health for what? For money. Why? Because we think that success and happiness is in money. Just about everyone thinks that way. But when you grow older and you get what you looked for, you start to think that the health that you used to have is more valuable than money, which we don't thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for. That's why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, نعمتان مغبون عليهما كثير من الناس. Two bounties, most of the people at loss when it comes to showing gratitude for. الصحة والفراغ, health and spare time. Sheikh Fahman, when you are bored, what do you say? I'm bored, I don't know what to do. This time that you don't know what to do and you're bored for is something so valuable, and it should be a great opportunity to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Money, victory, and such doesn't really draw people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as much as trials, pains, suffering, calamities, accidents, and stuff like that gets you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believers and disbelievers, than the rest of it, because the rest of it gets you even farther. Imagine you're not that righteous and all of a sudden you have so much money. You're going to enjoy it. Halal, haram, doesn't matter. You want to have fun with it. Strength. That's why you find a lot of people bullying other people. That's why you find a lot of countries oppressing other countries. Because when you feel strong, you forget the stronger, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you do what you need to do, ignoring everything else. Just to prove this to you, one brother, I don't know if I told you about him before, anyway, a student with my son at UTA, interested in Islam, came, talked to him, accepted Islam, alhamdulillah, and he's really dedicated. He really wants to learn. Next time I saw him, he's already searched and found a website that teaches Quran, and he's reciting, he was reading the Fatiha, transliteration and such. Anyway, my son told me that he's really making a big change amongst his friends too. The other day, my son told me he had an accident, that brother. And it was a major accident. Somebody hit him from the back on the freeway, or I don't remember exactly where, and his car spun, and an 18-wheeler almost went through him. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him. His car is completely gone, and subhanallah, he's suffering minor injuries. So my son told me that, and I wanted to check on him, and I forgot the next day. Anyway, I texted him yesterday, how are you doing, and how can I help you? Is there anything that you need, and stuff like that. And he said, Alhamdulillah, this is my second accident. I'm using it as getting an opportunity to get closer to my Lord. I said, subhanallah, someone just accepted Islam, taken a major calamity like that, and instead of saying, I just accepted Islam, I'm supposed to have good things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is supposed to take care of me, like most people, even Muslims, say that. He's saying, I'm getting an opportunity to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he said, looking forward to learn from you the religion. So I reaffirmed that, and I said, financial help, question mark. He said, no sir, thank you. When you find people like that, and I know he's in need, and I know he doesn't have a car, and you find some people with this self-respect where they don't beg or take opportunities or extend their hand, these are the people that you really want to take care of. So I told my son to call him or text him and to tell him to come to a masjid. I want to make a surprise for him. I was thinking about collecting some help, thinking a gift, $500 or something like that. So he did come, but my son did not tell him it was a surprise. He just told him to come for the prayer, and he said, I don't have a car. I told him we'll pick him up. So he came, and while I was talking about trials and such, and I mentioned him, and I asked if anyone willing to contribute, he doesn't know, and I don't know that he doesn't know what we're doing. To the point that he raised his hand for himself, donated $50. And if I tell you what my son told him, you would, not appropriate, but it was funny in their own language, in their own age and such. And it was so hilarious. I told him, brother, we're collecting for you. I thought he knows. Anyway, I collected $1,000 for him. He still doesn't know what's the plan and all of that, and I don't know that he doesn't know. So I got the money in my hand, we got to the car. Just before we got to the car, I came to him and I said, Roderick, this is just a little thing from Muslim community to just tell you that we're there if you need us. And hopefully it will help you a little bit. He was crying so loud, I thought people just would think that something wrong happened. People in the masjid were just, he threw himself on me crying so loud. And I was going, subhanAllah. Went home, dropped him off, and then when we left, I don't know what I told my son. I told him $1,000, something like that. He said, you gave him $1,000? And he said, yeah. I said, I thought it was $5 or so. I told him, inshallah, people will, they deposit the money, I will keep you updated. And I said, no, I collected the money. So he texted him, and you know what he said? He said, I didn't know how much he gave me. It was not the amount, it was just knowing. He said, I always learned to work for my money. Never had anything from anybody. And to see someone putting something in my hand help, that broke my heart. I didn't know it was $1,000. He said, I don't know how to appreciate you except saying thank you and alhamdulillah. Of course, I explained to him a little bit on the way, because you take opportunities in Islam. I explained to him and I said, that's why Muslims don't deal with interest. You see, I gave you this money, I'm not expecting anything from you. You're not going to have to worry about paying me even the money or nothing more or less, because Islam wants us to be there for one another regardless of wealth and regardless of money. Money is not what drives us to have relations. The true love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what drives us. That's why you live with people here. If I can benefit from you, you're my friend. If I can't, I'll look for someone else, because life is money. In Islam, it's not that way. That's why we have in zakah, a portion you give to people who accepted Islam recently, or even you have hope that they might be accepting Islam, to help them and support them and show them the generosity of Islam and how we deal with one another and how we help one another. It is not based on money. So 2 points here. It's how to connect the teachings of Islam in a practical life, and at the same time how calamities draw the person to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's amazing. What I really witnessed yesterday, it was something so touching, so encouraging to see someone like that. And I'm hoping that all of you, inshallah, for those of you who are going to move on for the next life, the life of the college and the life of really mixing with people and dealing with people, you take opportunities like that when someone talks to you and when someone asks you a question to introduce Islam. It doesn't matter what you are, doesn't matter what you're talking about. You can always refer to yourself as I do this, or I don't this, or I'm like that because of Islam, because I'm a Muslim. Interject things like that that makes people curious to ask about Islam, curious to learn about Islam, and you get the reward for that. I want you to be proud of yourself, who you are, what you have, and what you know. I want you to live your life happy, because if you are with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you cannot be sad. There is no sadness. It doesn't matter what happens to you. The worst that could ever happen to you is die, and death is something everybody's going to get it. The problem is, or the point is, are you in good relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Does it really matter to you to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or to stay away from displeasing Him? That's how we want you to be, and that's how we always pray and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for you to be. We always give our dua. We want you to be successful in your examinations. We want to be successful in your real life and in the hereafter, because the hereafter is the real life. The real life. There are two lives, a fake one and a real one. This is the fake one, and it's going to end. The real one is coming. You gotta work for it and prepare for it. Even your examinations are rewarding. If you make it sincerely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you want to learn, you want to improve, you want to make a change, you want to help people and such, it will be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So always think positive, live positive, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you and guide you.